Hello everyone and welcome to another prediction video. Today we have a little bit of a mix. We have some FA Cup matches for you this weekend and we also have some Premier League matches. Going through the Premier League matches first, there's some really important fixtures at the bottom end of the table with Newcastle, Brighton and Fulham all playing. So a bottom of the table clash in Newcastle and Brighton, and Fulham have a winnable game at home to Leeds. And in the FA Cup, there's some big matches as well. Probably the pick of the ties is Leicester versus Manchester United. But let's go through the stats now and make some predictions. So, looking through the stats, the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to do all of the Premier League fixtures first in chronological order, and then I'll go through the FA Cup fixtures. So, kicking off the Friday night, we have Fulham versus Leeds. Both near the bottom of the table. Leeds obviously in a better position than Fulham, but this is a must-win game for Fulham. They've got a game ahead of Brighton and Newcastle, but obviously they are both playing each other on the Saturday, so there will be points dropped, an opportunity for Fulham to go out of the relegation zone if Brighton get the win and Fulham get the win as well. So this is a great opportunity for Fulham. I think it's a winnable game for them. Having a look at they've only won 2 games at home all season, and Leeds away from home, they've won 6, lost 8. So there's no draws. They haven't had a single draw away from home. Leeds, they tend to win or lose. On this basis, I think that this is going to be a game in which it just means too much for Fulham, and it's a very good opportunity for them to pick up points. And I'm actually going to go with a 1-0 win for Fulham and for them to get their 3rd victory at home this season. Moving on to the next match, again bottom of the table clash. We have Brighton versus Newcastle. Overall standings, here we go. So they're neck and neck in the table. Newcastle have got 3 draws in a row in the last 3 games. Brighton obviously picking up that important win against Southampton in their last game. For me, this one is going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be one where both are going to be too scared to lose. They obviously both have a game in hand on Fulham, so I think this one might just play out to be a draw. Because I think losing the game will be more disastrous than both of them picking up a point. So I think this is going to be a draw, and to be honest, they don't score many goals, either team either. Looking at their fixtures, okay, well, Brighton picked up 2 goals there, but I mean, the more likely candidates to score goals would be Brighton. So I may go with a Brighton 1-0 win. Maybe they'll nick it, or maybe. But I'm actually going to go with a 0-0 draw in this one because, as I say, I think that I think they'll want to not lose more than they want to win Brighton, to be honest, with Fulham chasing on their heels. So next up we have West Ham versus Arsenal. This is an interesting one. West Ham are in great form. Look at West Ham at home. They are second only to Manchester City in the points they've picked up at home this season. Arsenal obviously have had Europa League on Thursday, so they're may have tied legs from that. So I genuinely think that this is going to be a good opportunity for West Ham to, and obviously, yeah, this game means more to West Ham as well because look where they are in the table. They're closing in on that top 4. They've got a game in hand on Chelsea as well. Can go level on points. I think West Ham are going to get the job done here. I think Arsenal will score, So I'm going to go with a 2-1 to West Ham. And finally, Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Spurs coming off the back of that embarrassing Europa League defeat. If I can just take a second to have a moment to think about those Orisic goals. Wow, they were absolutely ridiculous. So Lamela out with a red card, and Son is also out. Important plays for them. Grealish is obviously out for Aston Villa as well. But I think in this one, I mean, Spurs in their head-to-heads, Spurs have just won every single game, but I can see a collapse coming from Spurs. Such an embarrassment out of the Europa League. They've also, it's very unlikely, looking at the standings, that they're going to get top four, and whether that's in the mind of the players, I think they may have a defeatist mentality at the moment with the amount of losses that they're picking up. So honestly, I think Spurs may have a little collapse and just be completely focusing their minds on that League Cup final. So I think Aston Villa might be able to get the job done here. And I think it will be low scoring, because I think without Son, I think Spurs have looked, as of late, haven't looked great in front of goal. I mean, they didn't score in the last fixture. They scored one with that Lamela Rabona, but they're not picking up massive amounts of goals in recent. I mean, 1, 2, 3 goals in the last 4 matches. Not brilliant, is it? So I'm actually going to go with a 1-0 victory to Aston Villa in this one. So that concludes the Premier League fixtures. So now let's switch our attention to the FA Cup. Kicking off with Bournemouth versus Southampton. Now, this is an interesting one. Let's look at the Bournemouth's home. So they tend to win or lose in this one. Southampton, again, they tend to win or lose. So I wouldn't go with a draw actually in the full-time scoreline actually. I think Southampton, they've obviously lost to Brighton in their last fixture. They've suffered some heavy defeats. Their record just isn't all that great. And Bournemouth, in recent matches, they've looked pretty decent. They've been scoring goals as well. I mean, even this one that they've lost in the Championship, they've scored 2 goals. Again, yeah, I think Bournemouth might actually get the victory here. I think I'm going to go with 2-0 to Bournemouth, beating Championship opposition. I mean, that's very ballsy, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with 2-0 to Bournemouth. Everton. Everton is the next game. So Everton versus Manchester City. I need not say anything. All I need to do is show you one thing. Just one thing. I think it's fairly obvious the way in which I'm going to go. Everton, as of late, in the last 5 matches, one of them being in the FA Cup, they've won. Well, okay, they won in extra time, the Spurs match, but they've won in normal time. They've won just 2 of the last 5 matches, and City, their away record is absolutely ridiculous. I think I've gone with 3-0 to Man City in this one, because they go marching on. They go marching on Manchester City, and domestically they've just been dominant, and I wouldn't surprise if that dominance continues against Everton, who have been at home recently, haven't been amazing at all. Losing to Burnley, losing to Fulham. Yeah, I'm going to go with 3-0 to Manchester City. Next up, we have Chelsea versus Sheffield United. Under Tuchel, Chelsea just do not concede goals. I mean, this is the last 10 matches. They've conceded 2 goals in the last 10 matches. That is ridiculous. So do I think Sheffield United are going to have the firepower to get a goal against Chelsea? No. Chelsea might have tired legs after that Champions League victory, but that was after they scored the first. It was pretty much job done. So I don't think that game had the intensity that some of the others had in Europe. Um, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory here. I mean, Sheffield United obviously as well are in awful form, losing recently sacked Chris Wilder, and their first performance after that, Leicester just completely, absolutely smashed them out the park. 5-0 victory. I don't think Chelsea scoreline will be similar to that. Chelsea are a lot more pragmatic, a lot more defensive. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory to Chelsea in this one. Which brings us actually to our final match. Manchester United versus Leicester City. This is very interesting. In the Premier League, we've still got to face them for a second time, but it was a 2-2 against. Well, I'm a Man United fan. It was a 2-2 against Leicester City, and I think we deserved to win that match. I think it was a late equaliser, I think, by Jamie Vardy, if I remember right. I may be wrong, but I think in the important games, Man United seemed to get the job done against Leicester. The head-to-head before that was. This was for top four at the end of the season. This game, everything rided on this game for top four. It all came down to one game. And we went away from home against Leicester, having had a pretty poor end to the season. And then we got the job done 2-0. Jesse Lingard with the final goal of Man United's Premier League campaign. So I think actually, even though Leicester, obviously, without European football, now having lost to Slavia Prague earlier, and Man United coming off the back of an AC Milan win, I still think Man United are going to do it, to be honest. And I think it's going to be a great week for Man United. Look at this away record. Maybe if they didn't have such a good away record, then things will be different. But they haven't been conceding goals either away from home. The last, how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last time was at West Brom that they actually conceded a goal in that 1-1 draw. So I'm actually going to go with a 1-0 win to Manchester United. So here you have it. Here are all of my predictions for you. If you have enjoyed the video, please give me a like down below. The last video got a respectable amount of views, but I need to know, because I'm a busy boy. I need to know that you like these videos, and then I'll obviously continue to do them. But the only way I'm going to know that is if you give a like down below, and then I'll obviously do more. But here are my predictions for you, all of them. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree on any of them? Let me know in the comments down below. Apart from that, you can actually do a live watch along with me for the Manchester United versus Leicester City game on Sunday. And you can do that. You can find me at Twitch at RNA_deck. So search that in Twitch, you will find me, and join us for the watch along on Sunday for that Man United versus Leicester game. But apart from that, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.